Yo, what up?
Yo. What was he saying about the video?
Yeah, so a lot of stuff he was saying was about a lot of stuff that you were saying, but he liked what you were saying. Like everything you said was what the ideas he had when it come to making up that song, whatever it is that he was doing.
Yo, I saw that text when I woke up at 4 a.m. I was like, oh my God, what happened? I had to go to bed. I didn't know there was so much drama. And it was funny because I'm watching the game, the Met game, and Lindor hits the first home run that I find out once I wake up. So I saw the first home run, right? I was like, finally, this dude did something. He hasn't done anything all year. And the announcer goes, this might be Lindor's signature moment. I said, see? Because he had none before. This is it. So I was like, finally. And then whatever happened throughout the game, the skirmish.
So you didn't see any of it.
I didn't see it. I didn't see the second home run. I didn't see the third home run. I didn't see thumbs down. I didn't see
Okay.
I didn't see anything.
All right, so this is what happened.
I saw it, but I didn't see it. You know what I mean?
You wasn't watching it live.
Exactly. I saw clips of it, but that takes the fun out of it. You know what I mean? Like you see that, I'm like, it afterwards. You're like, damn.
Well, all right, first of all, I just want to say after the last podcast we had, and I was like, yo, the Mets need to win this game and start winning. They were 9-5. They're 9-5 after that. So I think I hit it on the button because they lost the last like 4 within the last 6 games, but in the beginning they were winning. So I think I hit it on the note. I hit it on the button on that one. But now,
of course, they got to start winning, or else you know what I mean? What are they got to do? Okay, let's go out there and lose, fellas. Good job.
Yeah, but they should have been winning against San Francisco and San Diego, but they wasn't.
But so they blew games against the Nationals in Miami. They should be that 9-5 should be way different. It should be 11-3, 12-2.
And that brings me to those 1-run games you were talking about that you said if they had a 1-1 game and lost, that wasn't going to work because that was what was going to happen. They needed to win these games. And I think they won their fair share, but you're right. There's about 3 games out of those 5 where they had the lead and then the closer blew it. Or they had a chance to win the game with like bases loaded, whatever, and they couldn't get it done. But it became 9-5. So at least they're still in it at this point in time. But what happened last night, what I saw was it seems like to me, Sam, we're going to have to keep Javi Baez.
Because Lindor plays better with him there.
Well, it's the relationship that I see them have. Like after that, because it started with the game, I think it was the game before, where who's the all-star pitcher we sent to the all-star game? What was the pitcher's name?
Taijuan Walker.
Yeah, so he was on the mound. They said he kept looking at the third base guy, the third baseman, because he kept hearing whistles from the Yankees dugout. So they were saying that the Yankees were whistling, trying to catch the pitches. See? So after the second Lindor home run, if you look, he's yapping at the Yankee bench, going like this. Talking about, we know y'all were whistling, trying to catch the pitcher's calls, right? Then Stanton hits a home run. Did you see that?
I saw that. I saw him hit the home run.
So he hits the home, but you see him when he was walking?
Torres hit a home run, right?
Yeah, but that had nothing to do with it.
Okay. That was before all the drama.
Yeah. So, no, I think that was in the middle, but he wasn't in the drama.
Oh, okay.
It was Lindor and Stanton. So when Stanton hits the home run, he ties up the game. He trots around the bases and stops and starts yapping at Lindor. And that's when Baez and Lindor, and they're like, yo, get out of here. Like, yo, they're like doing this. Yo, it was great, man. You got to try to see that whole thing again. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, wow. So, all the benches clear. They all get together. And as the game goes on, they're showing Lindor and Baez like in the dugout, and they're like, together, like, yeah, man,
they're boys. Yeah, they're boys.
You know what I'm saying?
They're boys. They're like brothers, but boys. You know what I mean? Like anything they do, they're gonna do it together.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So I'm thinking from this point now on, I think they're gonna do even better than they did from the last stretch. So I think now they got more of a bond, and especially it was against the Yankees. You know what I mean? And it was around the 9/11 time. And it was great. It was great to see that. And then he hits the third home run. And that's the game-winning home run.
I don't think he hits 3 home runs in 3 months. He hits them all in one day. Like, what is he doing?
Well, you know what? If he starts hitting them now, perfect timing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, let's get it. But I think we keep Baez. I know it's going to be a lot. But I think we have to also get Chris Bryant.
For third.
So
you're going to have an all-star team. You're going to have the Cubs again.
Well, if we keep Conforto because we get Bryant, and we know we can't afford a billion players, I would keep Baez now, try to get Bryant, and then just try to keep the rest of the roster. You know what I'm saying? And I think it'll be a pretty good team for next year.
You know, when there's like a skirmish and like everybody runs out on the field, if I'm in the bullpen and I'm running to I'm fighting somebody just for making me run all the way from the bullpen to the field just to push a dude. All right, that's enough. Like, I'm not even gonna run to the dudes on the field. I'm gonna make a hard right or left and fight the dudes that are coming out of the bullpen. They'll be like, "Oh my God, there's a bullpen fight!" Just start brawling those dudes. Like, why would you get tired, run all the way over there to just? All right, you cool? All right, later. Like, you know what I mean? Hey, how you doing? You all right? You said what you had to say. All right, like stop it. They do it in every sport, though.
Yeah,
they
hey, baby, you want to dance? See you later.
Yeah, basketball, they're all in each other's face. Like, stop it, bro. If you're going to fight, fight. Like when Chris Childs two-pieced Kobe Bryant, rest in peace. He was like, what'd you say? Yeah, I'm talking to you. Pop, pop. Did he hit me? But then I remember when
what happened?
Carmelo Anthony was on the Nuggets and he sucker punched a dude from behind when he was fighting the Knicks. I forgot who. If you Google it on YouTube, you'll see him catch it, and then he goes all the way backwards. Like he's like they're trying to get him, and he's going backwards and backwards and backwards. I think that's when like was it Wallace was on the team? I forgot who the hell.
Well, yo, anyway. What was his name? Because I was watching. I can't remember his first name. Wallace, the dude from Syracuse. What was his first name?
Yeah, Wallace. That was him. I don't know. They have him. Like they go back to him every once in a while.
I'm so mad because I was watching Grant Hill clips. I was watching Grant Hill clips when he was like on the Pistons. Mm-hmm. Yo, I think he would have been better than Kobe.
Who, Grant Hill?
Yeah, if he would have stayed healthy, I think he would have had a better career.
He almost died from his staph infection or something, from ankle surgery. That's crazy.
Yeah, they had surgery and then they wrapped it up in a cast, and it was hurting. They had to open up the cast. They didn't open up the cast. He would have had problems. Oof. Yeah, he was in Orlando.
But Baez and Lindor been playing with each other from back in the days because they were on the World Classic together on the
Puerto Rico, right?
Puerto Rico team.
Yeah,
and I love that team, not because I'm Puerto Rican, obviously. Yeah, I think Stroman's mother he's half Puerto Rican, and his mother wanted him to play for Puerto Rico, and he was like, "Nah, I'm playing for the United States, whatever." And then I think Alex Rodriguez's mother wanted him to play for DR, and I don't know, I forgot if he played or whatever, but I know he wanted him to play for DR. So Puerto Rico won second. Like we lost. They came all the way back. They went like the knockout pool or however it worked. Because I was like into it, but not really. I remember it was in Miami. And so Puerto Rico loses to the United States. And Puerto Rico's having a party. And they're cheering. You know, they all had the blonde hair. That was the blonde hair thing when they all had the blonde hair. So they go to Puerto Rico or they go maybe downtown Miami. I don't know. And they were partying. And then they go to Yadier Molina. And I love this, what he said. He goes, I think it was McCutcheon. If I'm wrong, then but somebody was like, I don't know why they're partying. They lost. And then they told Yadier Molina that he had said that. And he was like, maybe he should learn how second place is a good thing to be in. You know, just because we didn't win first doesn't mean we can't party. You know, don't take yourself so seriously. Something like that. I was like, ooh, ouch. That's like when Stephon Marbury, when LeBron was dissing his sneakers, and then Stephon Marbury said, well, I'd rather own than be owned. End of conversation. LeBron's team was like, you know what? Don't even say nothing. Just eat that one.
Yeah. Let's keep it moving.
Because Stephon Marbury was selling the sneakers for like $10 or $15. So
I know. I bought a pair.
So the kids in the hood could have something that they could, you know, a fan and somebody they idolized, you know, they could be part of that sneaker because a lot of kids can't afford, you know, the sneakers because they're way too overpriced and expensive when they're not even paying that much, you know, to ship them over here and have them made because they're not made here.
Yeah, they were $20. And I bought it. The job I had when I was working at the Baker Act facility, I bought it for that job because you have to run. Code gray. You got to run to the unit to go stop the fight.
Stephon Marbury got like a bronze statue in China. He's like an icon out there. They love him out there. Yeah, well, good for him. Yeah, good for him. Sometimes you don't make it certain places. Just rebuild yourself and go somewhere else. And, you know, you can make something better yourself. There's always a second act to follow.
Yeah, but I don't think it's about don't make it. It's about opportunity is where you make it, where you
Yeah,
make
but
it.
he
And
made it. But he was doing good here. He made it here. They just,
but he was
didn't
making it
resign. So it
better
was like, yeah, over
over
there.
there. Yeah. And a lot of people like look at Brian. Brian went to Turkey. He played, I think, 10 years for the Turkey team. You know
Oh,
what I'm
good for
saying?
him.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It's like you don't have to make it. Like I remember I was telling one of my old girlfriends, you know her, of course. We're not gonna mention girlfriends here, names. But I was like, yo, I'm gonna make it to the NBA. Right? Well, I didn't make it as a player. I made it as a 16-year season ticket holder. To me, that's the
Hmm.
same thing because a fan is a part of the game. As the players, as a ref, as a coach, as someone that does the table, as
As
an
a water
usher.
boy.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
technically, I made it. That's how I feel. You know, I didn't get the $15 zillion contract for 10 years like the players did, but
Hmm.
I had a great time. I can't take those days back for anything. I had so much fun there every single time. Even the days, like I said, even the days when the team was bad, we made it good. When McGrady scored the 62 or the 63, whatever it was. That was a great game. And it was two worst teams in the league. So
To cycle back to the Yankees and the whistling. Remember when the Astros got caught, when the Boston Red Sox got caught, the Yankees got caught too because Beltran was an advisor for the Yankees. So they were like, "Hey, what's going on?" Beltran came over from the Astros, and you guys didn't. And they were like, "Oh, we'll look into it." And then when they said they look into it, Manfred was like, "Oh, I wrote a letter to the Yankees, and they wrote me back." Nobody knows what was in this letter. So there's still some ties like with the cheating and stuff, but it's the Yankees, so they want to, hush it under the
under the
brush
rug.
it under the rug. So it just because it's them doesn't mean that it can't happen. Like, oh, he can never do that. They would never do that. Yeah, okay, whatever. But whatever, they
So
won, they lost. The 9-11 game, Judge hits a home run. It was like crazy. Like those games, that game and the Field of Dreams game. That's why when I told my brother, like, remember the White Sox came back when I think Tim Anderson hit a home run at the end.
I didn't see the Field of Dreams game.
Yeah, they did. The Yankees were winning, and then they came back. Like they hit a home run to come back, so now they're ahead. Then in the bottom of the ninth or whatever, I don't even know if it was extra innings. Tim Anderson hits a home run, and everybody goes crazy. I text my brother. I was like, "Was this game fixed? Like, what's going on here? Like, what are the odds that the most exciting thing happened in baseball when baseball is notoriously known as a long and boring sport?" But in this game on a Saturday night, they had Kevin Costner, announcing and doing the whole Field of Dreams thing, and they built it up, and they have the stadium there where they're gonna keep having games like every year. So they say, we'll see next year.
Well, I mean, it's a business, man. You gotta make sure your business gets promoted and promoted correctly, and the fans get attached to it and they keep watching it. You know what I mean? Like I said, like I tell people, man, professional athletes are better actors than professional actors. The professional actors, you go cut, do it over. But these athletes got one shot. You know what I mean? And a lot of them excel, and a lot of them don't. So and they can. I think they can act out these games. And what can you do? I mean, they're trying to sell it to the people. If a team keeps blowing, like they interviewed Dwight Gooden yesterday
Mm-hmm.
because they got the 30 for 30 coming up for the Mets.
Yeah,
And
tomorrow and Wednesday.
so then they started talking about Dow Strawberry. So they asked Dow Strawberry what would be the better team, the '86 Mets or was it the '05 Yankees?
I don't remember. But I
Remember?
know he compared it to it. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was like, "Yo, the '86 Mets because of the pitching."
Mm-hmm.
But my point is the publicity, see the stuff that's coming out. Because I'm talking to the dude next to me. I'm like, yo, these guys were my heroes, but they ended up doing drugs and getting suspended from the league and then traded to other teams. You know,
Then they broke them up to try to hide what they were doing, but
yo,
everybody knew what they were doing.
to hear that Dwight Gooden missed the parade because he was high was kind of hard to hear the first time.
Didn't that dude on the Bengals miss the Super Bowl because he was the running back? I gotta look into that. I think the running back was blasted out of his mind. They were looking for him, and he was twisted.
Wait, who was this again?
When Boomer Esiason went into the playoffs against San Francisco for the championship,
Oh,
his
and
running back. Yeah, they couldn't
couldn't
find
find
him.
him?
He was high as hell. And they said that they had it that year. They would have beat San Francisco, but the dude wasn't there.
and that makes sense.
Hmm.
That makes a lot of sense. Let me see if I can get this to work again.
They get caught up in that lifestyle. So you're gonna talk about the Jets first, or gonna talk about the Giants first?
You can talk about the Giants first.
Yeah, because at least you have hope.
Nah,
Oh
we all
my
have hope.
God.
It's still week 1, man. We all got the hope.
What did I say? You have the ledger? What did I say about Denver? What was it? Was it a loss or a win?
Now you said they would win.
Yeah, okay. Well, they should stop calling him Danny Dimes and call him Jones Turnover Jones. Oh my God.
All right, so
This dude. It working?
okay,
It's working?
no, I didn't watch the game, but I saw a lot of the highlights. So what is it? You watched the game?
I watched the game.
Okay, so what do you think? Like, what was going on? Like, what happened in the first quarter as compared to the second and third? Like, what did you see?
The turning point of the game is that the Denver scored right before the half, and that's a killer. You know what I mean? They
Especially when
had
they
him
get the ball back.
exactly, and so they scored, and I'm like, damn, because they like marched down the field. I think there was a penalty, and they made it work. So I'm like, oh man. So they score. So I'm like, oh, now they're up 10-7 at the half, and then I don't know which part of the Giants are marching. They're like on the 30-yard line, whatever. And here goes Daniel Jones running with the ball.
Fumble,
And
that's right. Okay.
whether it's in the air or him running, the dude cannot hold on to the ball. So the defense kept us in the game the whole time. Whatever they were doing, they kept us in the game because that's, New York is known for defense. So, all right. But there's only but so much they could do. So defense. Here he comes. So they're all hyped up. They're marching. We might tie it up or go ahead or get even closer. And he fumbles. And that takes the wind out of your sails. It's like, man, we're working so hard. And the most important dude on the team, doesn't care about the one thing that we care about, which is the football. He should sleep with it. They should tie it to his arm and make him do everything with it. Because whether he's throwing a pick, like if you throw it to a receiver and it's a little high and he tips it and there's tip drills and the other team intercepts it, all right, it's both their faults, right? But if you don't put it, a quarterback can't put it in the breadbasket 100% of the time. So you got to be an athlete and make a play. I understand that part of it. But when he's fumbling or throwing it straight to an interception, straight to the receiver, to the cornerback or to the safety, like, come on, dude. You've been in the league long enough to go through your progressions to know who to throw it. They threw it to Shepard. Shepard did a crazy play, scored a touchdown. I think he stopped looking for Shepard after that. Like he was forcing it to other people for no reason. I know Shepard's like, I want to be the third down back, the third down receiver. Like if you need a third down, you need a first down, give it to me. All right. But that don't mean you only look for him on third down. Look for him on the other downs if he's open. So the way they had the angle, I didn't see if people were open, but he was just forcing it too much. And then when you're losing by so much, you become a one-dimensional team. You're not running with Saquon Barkley when you're down 100 points. You're going to start throwing it. So they already know they're going to go in the dime and they're going to wait and they're going to intercept you. It's like, come on, dude. What was the score at the end of the game? Look at this, 27-13. And those last a touchdown at the end that they didn't even kick the extra point for. They were like touchdown, like garbage time touchdown.
Yeah.
So it's really 27-7 was a real score. 13 is a sham.
So what do you feel about the Giants going into Washington this week? It's Thursday. That's right. It's a Thursday game.
Yeah, it's a quick week. So now we got to turn around. At least if you win one, it's like a doubleheader. You know what they say in a doubleheader? It's hard to win both. So at least win the first one so that at least the second one, whatever. At least you could split. Like these are back-to-back games. Now they got to recover, recoup, and get on practice and game plan for this team. But Jason Garrett, like his play calling that's why the reason Dallas kept him for so long, it wasn't because they were winning, it's because he was a yes man to Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
Jerry Jones don't want no strife. So this dude, he was losing like crazy. And they were like, just keep him. He's a good guy. He does whatever. We're mediocre, but I'm the star of the show anyway. Like, that's why he couldn't deal with a Bill Parcells or Jimmy Johnson. You know what I mean? Like, you get rid of dudes like that because they have personality and they outshine you. And when you're conceited, I don't know if that's a good word.
Arrogant.
arrogant, owner, which you can be because you're worth $1 billion. But he's like always on the sideline. They're always showing him. Like that's the one thing I like about Cone. Like we hear about him, but he's not. And he's a fan of the team. He just doesn't own the team, which is great. But we don't see him as much, which is like I don't want to see the dudes. You know what I mean?
Well, Jerry wants the Cowboys to win and let it be about him. That's not going to happen.
So does he want the Cowboys to win, or he wants Jerry Jones to win?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he wants Jerry Jones to win. So if he wanted the Cowboys to win, everybody that's top notch in NFL will be on that team right now, from coaches to players. Because I guarantee you, there's a lot of players in the league that would love to play for the Cowboys. Great players, but they know how it is with that organization. If they win, it's Jerry's winning, not them. They probably don't want to be a part of that. So that's on him. So what do you think about the Giants? They're going to win or lose this game? You got loss on this right now. What do you think?
Yeah, it's staying a loss. It's staying a loss. And with Jerry Jones, he if he was serious about winning, he wouldn't be the GM. He'd hire a GM.
Yeah.
And so he wants everything to be about him. So like, dude, be realistic. There's plays, there's things you do with your heart, and there's the things you do with your mind. And when you're doing it as an owner and a GM, you don't get the best out of both worlds. Let somebody else do the job. Let somebody else that's a professional in that aspect, give somebody else a chance that could, do what they have to do.
Well, it seems to me is, when a regular team hires a GM, well, the GM has 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to focus on being a GM. When you're the owner, you don't have that much time to be the GM. So you're not winning in that spot. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And you're absolutely right. I think people that try to do two jobs in a professional sports, that's man, you really have to have like one life to do both jobs, because other things just can't come in. It's going to distract you every single which way. That's how I feel about that. All right, cool. Anything else about the Giants?
Now Ryan Fitzpatrick's hurt, so they say he might be out a couple of weeks.
Yeah, they might sign Cam Newton.
Yeah, and I still think the Giants will lose. So it doesn't matter. I don't care what the quarterback is; they're still gonna lose. Like,
so what do you think they're gonna need? Like, what do you think they need? Like right now, is it the offensive line?
Who?
The Giants.
Well, the Giants. I don't know. They need a more confident quarterback. I think they have pieces. Well, first of all, Ingram needs to stop being hurt. The dude's always hurt, and when he's playing, he's dropping balls. Like we got him to be. He has stone hands. We got him to be the tight end that New York is used to. Eli Manning made champions out of tight ends. Ballard, Boss. You never heard about those dudes before or after they left the Giants. But while they were with the Giants, they got a Super Bowl ring because of Eli, because he would always check down to the tight end. And when Daniel Jones checked down to the tight end and Ingram, Rudolph, or whoever's there, they're dropping balls, it's like a waste. It's like, come on, man. This is your job. This is what and you're not going to catch every ball. I get it. But when you're dropping more, when they're targeting you and you're dropping so many, and I don't even care about that fantasy. Like a lot of dudes are into different teams and different players because of fantasy, which is cool for them. But that's not me. I'm not gonna cheer for another team just because he's on my fantasy team and I could win like $1,000 pool at the end of the year. I'm gonna cheer for my team and that's it. Yeah. And I'm not gonna be friends with anybody at the end of the year or clap hands. Like, no, sorry, shake hands. Nope, ain't gonna happen. I'm a giant football fan, and I don't hate the Jets. I hope they win too because it's good for New York. The same way I am with the Yankees and the Mets. The Mets are my team, and the Yankees are good except when they're playing the Mets. Like, forget it. They're in a different league, and I want them to succeed. And if we meet in the Super Bowl and the World Series, then we meet it. But you know who I'm going to be cheering for?
For me, I'm a Mets fan. I'm a Jets fan. The Jets didn't lose to the Giants in the Super Bowl, so I can still root for the Giants, but I cannot root for the Yankees after they beat us in the World Series. After that World Series, I can't go for the Yankees anymore. So I'm a little off with you on that one.
No, I think they showed promise. I didn't expect them to win. I didn't think that they had everything together to win. They have hope in Zach Wilson, but they had hope in Sam Darnold too. And he showed a little spunk towards the end of the game. So I see that as more of a progression for the next game. Like you have something to look forward to the next game. Like I didn't see that. I don't see that with the Giants. You just gotta hope and pray. Oh, I hope they beat the Ryan Fitzpatrick-less, Washington football team. Like come on, give me a break, man.
All right. Well, I saw the whole game. I didn't even take my eyes off the TV. And what I saw was the offensive line looked like they were in college. It was a college line. I mean, they were just running through the line like there was nobody there. And he got sacked 6 times, Zach Wilson. So that was bad. But then there was a tale of 2 halves. So the first half, you had the Jets doing nothing on offense. And then the second half, you had them doing a lot better on offense.
Well, they scored nothing in the first half, so
right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So, But my thing is, what I want to see out of the Jets, because I thought they would have won that game, but everybody's hurt, and that doesn't help a team like the Jets. If the team was like already good and players are going down, that's one thing. But a team that's trying to get good and their players are going down, that's very hard to rebound off of.
I wanted to see that Lawson dude, that defensive end that you got. I wanted to see him, and he got
Kyle Lawson, right?
hurt. Yeah, Kyle. Yeah. You got Shaq Lawson.
No, he got Shaq Lawson. What do you do? You know what I'm saying? It's one of those.
You got a Lawson. You got a Lawson.
So, yeah. But the second half, the defense, I guess whatever schemes they chose to do in the second half when they came out was working, because they got to the quarterback. They got him a couple of times, and they didn't score. Did they score?
They scored 3.
They scored 1 field goal.
They made adjustments. They made adjustments at the half, which is what you're supposed to do.
No, I mean the Panthers. Did the Panthers score in the second half?
Yeah, 3 points.
3. Okay.
But I'm saying the Jets made adjustments and got better. Yeah.
Now, what I saw in the second half with the offense was Zach Wilson running around for his life, but then actually able to throw the ball in key spots. So he caught Corey Davis twice for touchdowns, which was 2 great throws, right? Off runs, right? Mm-hmm. Not in the pocket. So I'm thinking this is what I'm going to say right now. They need to practice bootlegs and screens until the bye week, right? After the bye week, they're going to play the Patriots again. So they play the Patriots this Sunday. Then they play, I think, 4 more games. And then week 6 is the bye week. And then they play the Patriots again. So what I'm thinking is this. Focus on running screens. Focus on getting Zach Wilson out the pocket, running and throwing the ball, so that by the second half of the season, those plays they can go to at the clutch, and then they can focus on other plays as the season goes on. Similar to what Tom Brady did when he went to the Bucs. When he went to the Bucs, the first couple of games, like the first 4 or 5 games, he was airing it out, and he wasn't getting too much progress with it. But by the time the end of the season started, came up, those plays, you had to look out for those plays, because those plays were now good. Antonio Brown came back, so when he was airing it out, it was on point. So the offensive line's horrible, so you got to move them. You got to move them out. So I would focus on screens, and more screens, right? And when the defense is focused on screens, then you can get to the Corey Davises and the Denzel Mims. But you got to do something to make the defense focus on the running game. So I would focus screen. Focus on that. Bye week, start changing it up. So that's what
the Panthers did to the Jets. It was McCaffrey run, McCaffrey out pass, McCaffrey
play action, touchdown.
Yeah, like the first 10 plays were to McCaffrey. I'm like, does anybody else play on this team? And then when I turned around, touchdown.
Yeah. And the 2 touchdowns came from the 2 ex-Jet players. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Robbie Anderson. But open, like down the middle. I'm like, damn, that hurt.
He got burnt. You burnt them. Mm-hmm. And it was the play action. Play action took McCaffrey. Boop. And then towards the end, when the defense had to make that stop, who was the one that got the first down, ended the game? McCaffrey. You know what I'm saying? So, Sam Darnold never had a running back like that in New York. He had who? Frank Gore. Whoop-de-doo. You know what I mean? He had Le'Veon Bell, which seemed at that time seemed like something that it might happen. It might work. But then you see what happened after that.
Yeah, but Adam Gase didn't utilize him. He didn't want him.
So Adam Gase didn't utilize anything.
Yeah, he utilized the unemployment check he's getting. Like, get out of here, dude.
Yeah, he utilized that free contract money that he got.
Oh my God, stealing without a gun.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Those 2 years, those are probably the worst 2 years I've ever been as a Jets fan because of the new quarterback. And I mean, think of all the new quarterbacks when the Jets got how that team was structured. Like me and you can go back. We go back to who?
Rich Kotite,
No,
Richard Todd.
when we first started going, who was the quarterback? Because Parcells wasn't there. Before we got the season ticket, before George gave us the tickets, we used to go with him.
Whoa, it wasn't Testaverde, right? It was
No, that's what I'm saying. It was before him. I can't remember.
didn't Neil something from the
Neil
Pittsburgh?
O'Donnell.
Neil
Yes,
O'Donnell.
Neil
They got
O'Donnell
him.
from the
There you go.
Steelers.
Yep. They got
Is that the Super Bowl we saw at the Riddlers?
That's when we were like, put in Foley. We wanted Foley as a quarterback. Put in Foley.
Yo, he was doing good, but you hit him,
Yeah.
you touch him,
Yeah.
crumbles.
Then it was the Pennington years.
Those are my favorite years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was at the game.
They had Crabette, you know, they had dudes on the team that played and wanted to play and all that.
But I was at the game in Jacksonville when Testaverde got hurt and he came in, and he drove them to the red zone, and then they fumbled. And I was like, damn. And they probably could have won that game had they scored that particular touchdown because there was still time left. And I ushered in the Chad Pennington era. I love that dude. I think he's my favorite Jet. Just from
You
the
had
situation.
his jersey, right? You had his white
I still
jersey.
have it, of course. And then, like you said, you know, Curtis Martin was still there, and Wayne Corbett, Lavernius Coles, I think, left, but then he came back. But then you had like Braylon Edwards, and then you had Kevin Mawai and all those guys on the offensive line. I mean, it was just a nice, solid team back then.
Yeah, you had a good nucleus. Yeah, you had something to build off of, and then you could just sub pieces out that you needed, you know, to get better.
And then when they played the Raiders in the championship game, you know what happened after that. And then when the Raiders played the Bucks, you know what happened after that in the Super Bowl. So, but yeah, man. Yeah, so I'm thinking practice screens, practice running out the pocket, have the defense collapse, thinking that, you know, you're gonna do some type of run scheme, and then you can look for the guys up top, because that offensive line as of right now, especially with Beckton being out about, I think they said 4 to 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Beckton?
Yeah.
You heard he tore his ankle or something?
I think that someone said a kneecap.
Oh, I know he was crying when they carted him off, like he was upset. I'm like, damn.
All right, ready?
Go for it.
Monty King. Yes, man, got the interview. Love it. Nice. So you both know it was Phantom of the Opera. It's one track. Instead of doing five different joints, listening to the Phantom of the Opera, I wanted to match the album I sampled from. So instead of just making 5 different beats, I wanted to create a nice little musical score type composing vibe. Like, close your ears, listen, and just vibe out. And kind of tells a story and all that shit, you know what I mean? So that's why it's one track. And it's called Phantom, out of Phantom of the Opera. So much appreciated. Glad you guys liked it, vibe to it, thought it was cool. You know what I'm saying? You know, it was like a nice little, like, it was cool. Like, I appreciate that. You know what I mean? I love the as well the resemblance to like he was saying, Notre Dame, Hamlet. I love that. That's exactly what I was going for. A musical score type production.
The second one.
Appreciated. The full project's out. All 5 tracks he produced. He produced beats. He made beats, 100%. And he just banged that out. I went for more like a musical score type shit. So there it is. Enjoy. Much appreciated. And there it is.
All right, cool. So at least that worked. Oh, and then this is the response when I told him that maybe me and you should start doing something about critiquing the music that comes out.
First, that sounds dope. Cool with me. Yeah, there it is. Let me know when obviously that episode will probably be more edited by you and intro and everything. You guys will break it down and do all that good stuff. And the first official, unless it's already, the podcast is already up and I didn't just get the link to it. but let me know. Still, congratulations. I love the setup. Nice, smooth, right to the point. And yeah, you guys get real deep. So it's definitely gonna be fire. It's definitely gonna be fire. And yeah, absolutely. When me, Fifth, or SB, any of us all together, even on a big collab, 100% exclusive, you will get the world premiere for sure. For that date, I
Talk about the
don't want to
KRS
say
show.
no, and I don't want to say yes. That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna leave it at that. Don't want to say no, and I don't want to say yes.
That last
He's,
part was
he's
about the
gonna be
show
there.
coming up. I don't know. He said he don't know. He don't know.
Mm.
He just said, I know I'm gonna be there, but that's what he
Cool.
said.
Yeah, that was dope. I'm glad that's what he was going for, and that's what we got out of it.
Well, that's what you do, man. You're good at that. You know what I mean? Like I know you to be good at that. I'm not good at that. So, but like I said, it takes me a lot longer to really like get to really know a song. I got to play like 1,000 times over and over. But to hear it for the first time and actually critique it, that's something I think that's your strength. So if you feel like, I feel like that's something that we can do. So that's dope. And like I said, there's a lot others, man. A lot others that I have in mind that once they see that I'm doing this, they're gonna be okay with it. What do you think about what about me and Sean? Did you see that one?
Yeah, I saw bits and pieces of it. I didn't see it all the way through. It was good. I like the back and forth, and you guys are family, so and you both enjoy the same thing, so you could get deep and personal about a lot of other things than the Jets. So like when that banter comes out, I think it makes it more generic. You know what I mean? Like when we're talking. This is we're videotaping and letting other people see what we would say on the phone to each other.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That's all we're
Authentic.
doing. Yeah,
It's
exactly.
authentic.
It's like,
They
yeah,
can relate.
So it's just like we're letting them into a world, and some people like it, and some people won't. And if you don't like it, oh well. If you do, enjoy. Can I have 1 minute to talk, or a couple of minutes to talk about the F1 race that just happened this
Yeah.
past
Oh yeah.
weekend? Oh my God! So my boy Lewis Hamilton. All right.
Right.
They're doing this new thing where instead of qualifying the old-fashioned way, they're doing a sprint weekend. So you could win the sprint and get certain points because the guy with the most points at the end of the year is the champion for the year, right? So they used to do qualifiers where you just race and race, and the quickest time goes to the next level, goes to Q2, goes to Q3, and then they cut 5 people off. There's 20 races. So if you have the 5 worst laps around the track, you get cut off. So now in Q2, there's 15 guys racing around the track. The last 5 guys that don't make the cut, they get kicked off. So in Q3, that's the last qualifier. So those 10 guys go around the track. The fastest guy is the pole position, and then it goes down. Second fastest guy, second, third, whatever. So Bottas races for Mercedes. Mercedes' top guy is Lewis Hamilton, who's a 7-time champion. So Bottas is leaving to go to another team, Alfa Romeo. Right? I think it's Alfa Romeo. So I don't think it's Aston Martin. It's one of them. So he's leaving, but he is putting on a performance like I'm nobody's Robin because he won the sprint series. But since they changed his engine, there's a rule where you got to start at the end because now you're not playing on the same level with the same engine that everybody else is. So he won the sprint for Saturday. So he should have been in first place, but because of the engine thing, he's in the back of the pack. So to go to Bottas, he's in the back of the pack. He came in third from 20th place or 19th place because I think one guy didn't even start because he had engine problems in the beginning. So these cars are worth so much money that if something's gonna go wrong, that they just take them out of the race right away and they'll deal with it next week. So Bottas coming out of 19th place because he changed the engine. Homeboy comes in third. So that was a race by itself. So mid race, the pole position is Verstappen, and it's usually Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton that are going back and forth. Verstappen races for Red Bull, and Lewis Hamilton races for Mercedes. So Lewis is in 4th place. Ricardo is with McLaren. He's in 2nd, and Lando is in 3rd. So they're racing. So there's strategies Mercedes went with hard tires in the beginning, and they were going to switch to medium at the end to make it a one-stop pick race. So everybody else was starting on mediums.
All right, what's the difference? What does the hard tires do versus the non-hard?
Well, there's hard, medium, soft. The soft, you could do the fastest time in soft, but they wear out quicker. The mediums are the mediums, they'll go medium range, but they won't give you a fast time. And the hard are the slower tires, but they could take you around the track 30 laps as opposed to 10, 10, 20, so
you want to start with the hard because you got a lot of laps to go.
it depends on how many laps the race is, because certain races are 60 laps, other 60 quick laps, other races are 50 laps, 50 longer laps. If you break it down, some of them, I think it's 72.
So if it's like a 3
laps.
mile lap as opposed to a 1 mile lap.
Yeah, exactly. So, just the timing, it's a timing thing. So when they pit is important too. So Lewis Hamilton pits, and usually a good pit is like from 1.8 to 2.5. He came out at 4.2 with something happened with one of the tires. So he's coming out with medium tires, and the guy he's trying to beat, which is Verstappen, has hard tires and they're older. So he's already been going around the track,
He's gonna have to stop
so the
soon.
wear and tear, yeah. Or he's going to try to race with these hard tires. And remember, mediums are faster than the hard ones, and they're younger. So he gets them, he comes out, they're coming out of the pit, right? He's coming out of pit lane. So Lewis Hamilton is just in front of Verstappen, right? So they make a left, right. Verstappen crashes into him and ends up on top of Lewis Hamilton. And keeps them both out of the race. Like his car is literally on top of his head. It's crazy because he hit a bump. And they were like, the owners they interview the owners, and they were like, hey, what happened? Or the engineers, the sponsors and stuff. And they're like, oh, the same thing happened in the beginning of the race. And Hamilton he went off the road and came back in because he saw he didn't have the space. But Verstappen didn't. Like, he fought his way back in and ended up crashing and taking the two guys out. So I'm watching the race and I see the crash. I'm like, oh, no. So I'm like, look at this guy. What a cheater. I was going crazy. And my wife is like, what happened? And then as soon as Lewis Hamilton came out of the race, I was like, come on, Bottas. Let's go, Bottas. Go, Mercedes. Hooray. But Ricciardo ended up winning. And he's of Italian descent. And it was a race in Italian. Like, these guys like to win in their home courts. So he ended up winning. He came in first, Lando came in second, and Bottas came in third. He was really fourth, but Perez, which is part of Red Bull, which is a teammate of Verstappen, he came in third, but he had like a 5-second penalty because he did something during the race that he wasn't supposed to do. So they put him in fifth place. So Perez finished third, but then with the 5 seconds that they take off of you, it ended up putting Bottas third. But had he gotten out of the way and Bottas would have passed him, and he tried to on 2 different occasions, he would have caught up to the first and second place dudes. But he got blocked throughout the whole race. So whatever, he ended up in third, which isn't bad. But coming from last, I like it. That's a race.
Yeah.
Like, I like to see those races. Perez did it too. When he was last year, I think he raced for BWT, and he was in last and came all the way and won first. That's dope. No matter who does it. So that's why, obviously, I got into the sport because of Lewis Hamilton. But if he leaves, all those other guys that are young and up and coming are good enough to keep me interested in the sport, no matter what happens.
Yeah, that's dope, man. I in Orlando, I had met these girls, and then one of the girls had met like one of her boyfriends, and me and him and his peoples, we ended up being mad cool, and he ended up being like working for like a big beer company, and he would always get tickets to the races in Daytona. So they would always go, and they would have so much fun. I never went. They invited me. I was like, nah, I'm good. But they're like, oh man, it's so much fun, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, well, I'll be the only black person there. I'm okay. And
Now
like,
Michael
right,
Jordan
whatever.
signed the dude, Wallace.
Yeah. Well,
He signed it. He's number 23. And next year they're going to Miami. They're gonna race around the Hard Rock Stadium. So
the
I'll be
guitar
there.
joint.
No, the football stadium. They're gonna build lanes to have the race over there next year.
Is that what it was? You sure?
Yes, get ready. No, they built the guitar. That's the casino.
But I thought the racetrack they were gonna build was gonna be by the casino.
No, it might go through. I don't know how far away it's. I know the football stadium is going to be the main because they're going to use that as a venue, like to the suites and stuff like that. I guess they're going to use that, to entertain people before the race, and then
I'll do some more. I'll
have a
do some more
stadium.
research into that.
It's a football stadium because they got a 10-year commitment, so they need that in order to even put the money in if it's worth it to build the stadium. And it's going to be so dope. Oh my God, I can't wait. Next year is going to be their first year. But you know how like when something new comes out, everybody flocks to it just because they want to be down. Like, oh yeah, hey, I'm here. I was here on the first time. But even after the first year, I'm going to go the second year, third year, fourth year, because that's how exciting. I wanted to go to Montreal because that was one of the races on the circuit this year, but Canada's not letting because of COVID protocol. They're not letting anybody in and out. You saw what they did to the Toronto Raptors. They had to play in Tampa.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, they're not playing. They're like, this is what we're doing. If you don't like it.
But they're open now, though.
Not if you're vaccinated. If you're vaccinated. They're not letting unvaccinated.
They said the Raptors will play in Toronto this year.
Yeah, but I think they got to have quarantine rules, and it's crazy because they're going to be in and out. So they're going to be following them closely. They're not just letting them come in and out. But, it's a loss of revenue. I get that part of it. But you know what? If you're dead, you can't really talk about or spend. Yeah, exactly. So.
Yeah. Yep. All right.
I see your Sprite towel in the background. You see it up there, upper left?
Yeah, that's the draft. I was in New York. I forgot where I went. I want to say Jackie's graduation from high school. I want to say that 2004. Yeah, she started 2000. I think that's what I went. And then
I gotta find mine, the towel that they handed out. I think it was during the NFC Championship when the Giants played.
Hold on a second. Hold on.
I remember they played the Bengals, right? And then they had to play the Bengals again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the Bengals, and they beat them twice.
Yeah.
And they beat them twice back to back to get in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But I gotta do that NFC Championship towel. I gotta find mine.
This towel was 2004. That was the year that the draft was in New York City. That's the day I saw you. When we went I saw you at the strip club.
New York City. But then they just started. I said it was always in New York City, but then they started switching it up and going on the road to Tennessee and all these other places.
Started mixing it up.
Get out of here.
But that was the day when I met you at Sue's and Chris Webber and them were there. Yeah. So that was fun. That's what that was, and then that's how you sent me. Because you went to the game. I was down here.
Yeah. And it was freezing that game. That Bengals game. Oh my God, it was so freezing. It was. I had sweatpants, pants, everything, long johns, thermal socks, everything. I had my not my triple fat goose, but I had like 5 coats on, 30 sweaters, still freezing. I had to leave at halftime. I was like, yo, I can't feel my knees. Let's go.
I was gonna say, yo, your knees will start talking to you.
Oh man.
Like, yo, I think we need to leave. Like,
yeah, but like, yo, dude, I'm not gonna be able to walk in you got 10 minutes to get to your car.
Like right now, you're gonna walk to your 80, but if you stay 5 more minutes, you ain't gonna walk to your 75.
Yeah, exactly.
You're losing time on the knees. Yo, there was a game. It was Neil O'Donnell versus the Colts and Jim Harbaugh. And we had the 4 tickets, and you didn't want to go. Nobody wanted to go. Nobody. It was cold, man. And I went by myself. I sat there, and I had to leave at halftime because my knees was like, yo, we need to go.
Yeah,
bro.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Like, even if you get the hot chocolate and everything else, you're still free. You're like, this, you got to pour the hot chocolate on yourself, but it'll freeze by the time you get to your knees. You're like, then you start licking it because it's a chocolate ice pop now. Oh my God, it's so it cuts through you. The way it was built, the old stadium, it like cuts through you. It like whips in there. So it's like any little hole. Like if you had a little piece of neck showing, it would go right in through your body. Like, ooh.
Yeah, man, it was tough in the cold.
Yep.
That's why they kept moving. That's why every time you saw a picture of the people in the stands, they were doing something so they're keeping themselves warm.
Did you hear that Plaxico Burress? Remember that game in Green Bay in 07 when they beat Brett Favre?
The Giants.
Yes, the Giants. He had Vaseline all over his body. That's how he's like. They went out to practice with Eli, and he said, "Yo, Eli, let's go back in. It's freezing." It was like 0 below, whatever the thing was, and he was like, "Yo," and then the trainer was like, "I know what to do," and he had like 150 yards and like 8 catches. Like he had the game of his life. It was because of that, because he was the only warm dude, out of everybody else.
And I watched that game. That was a frigid game, man. That's tough.
I just started my job that I'm in, and they invited us to a bar, so we couldn't hear what was going on. So I could only see what was going on. So I like to hear, but then you saw the back and forth, and people, because the dude kept missing the field goals. Kept missing field goals, and then he went out for the 3rd time. And if you hear Bob Papa's call, he goes, Tynes is running in the field. Like he couldn't believe it. Like, and I think, I think Tom Coughlin was so frozen, like he couldn't even move to tell him no. He probably was saying it like, no, go for it. But he couldn't move. He was free. Like his cheeks were all red. I'm like, oh man, that's frostbite. Get that guy off of the field, please. He's gonna get hurt. That's somebody's grandpa.
Yeah, it's hard. I can imagine how them guys played back in them days when they didn't have this technology to try to keep yourselves warm on the sideline. Ugh. Wow. But that's another good one. Yep. Yeah, man. So what's going on? Was there what was going on in New York this past weekend? Was it like a flood or rain or?
Yeah, it was Ida. Ida came and destroyed stuff. Did I send you a video of the Bronx River Parkway? Flooded.
Yeah.
Flooded, bro. Flooded to the exit. All the way, the Bronx River came out, and it was the Bronx River on the Parkway. It wasn't the Bronx River Parkway. It was the Bronx River on the Parkway. It was crazy. I'm going to send you videos of it. It was insane. And they showed like the whole city was destroyed. Yonkers was destroyed, everything. It was, and then they're saying, oh, our infrastructure, no drain can take 7 inches of water within 1 hour. Nothing. There's nothing you could do about that. You just got to protect yourself, stay home, and just deal with the fallout. And, people had like illegal basement apartments and the walls collapsed on them and they passed away. I think it was like 41.
People?
Yes, dead. Either washed away in their car, like they were in their car driving and the flood just came and messed them up. 2 teachers in my son's school died. They were going home. They both drowned. Like, you ever see the rescue where the firemen are like going in, like to get somebody out of like raging waters and stuff, and they're on top of their car? Like, imagine that. But then instead of on top of their car, they're in their car and they're pinned and they just drown. So it's crazy.
So I heard the Spanish Yankee announcer got caught, and the American announcer saw and came and rescued him.
It's opposite. It was opposite. Yeah. The Spanish broadcaster helped out the John Sterling. John Sterling was stuck, and then he went and got him.
Oh, okay. See, I told you, man. I do the opposite. You know that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. Anything else?
Nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
We caught up.
Yeah, man.
The hell of time.
All right. So then, what I'm gonna do today then is I'm gonna do Sam and T email. And use that as if people want to get on, if they want to come on, they can email us at samandT@whatever.net.
Mm-hmm.
And then start from there.
No, we got the foundation.
Yeah, man.
So
yeah.
We're gonna go up from there.
We got it going. So now we keep it moving.
Sounds good to me.
All right, brother.
Whoa. Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
Did we both say that at the same time?
Yes. I was like, whoa.
Things don't change.
Nope. The more they change, the more they stay the same.
You're damn right. All right.
I'm the analyst. You're the play-by-play guy. I'm the analyst.
I'm the engineer, so I started off.
Yeah, you'd be like, oh, what a play. I'm like, you know why that play sucked? I'm like, oh, man, these guys.
Oh, what a play. No. That's what I'm saying, yo. We don't have so much fun, bro. Once we have everything structured and ready, This shit is gonna be so much fun. You know, because you got the good cop, which is you, and you got the bad cop, which is me.
Suck it. You're gonna have to do. And we came up with that first, so we should
We
sue
came
that
up
dude.
with a lot of stuff first. We were the first reality TV guys, bro. We did that shit first. Nobody was doing it back in '94. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we gotta
Come
find
on,
the,
man.
the video, the camcorder.
Yeah,
one.
that's all, you got it. I'm waiting on you.
Okay.
What happened? I can't hear you.
My son is Mario for Halloween. So but the other outfit was too tight on him. Now this outfit's too baggy on him. You stuffed it?
No, it came with
Oh wow. To make him look like a Oompa Loompa?
No, over here.
Oh man, that's funny. Yo, and as you say that about bringing people on, I'm like, I really don't know anybody. Miguel texts me.
Here you go. That's
at
one.
at 7:00.
Yo, you know what? That's a good next one.
So we got a date.
There you go. Okay. Oh, yeah, don't tell him. Just send him the link.
We just gonna set him up. Ha, 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 ha.
You go, here we go. Oh, hello there.
What are some good times about growing up with your big brother? Name the good stuff and name the bad stuff. Hey, you smoke too much weed. Hey, don't say that.
T, make sure
Okay,
you edit
cut.
that out.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1, cut that out of there. Oh,
Like, yo,
man.
hey, Miguel, what's that stuff on your screen, man? Yeah, that would be a good one. Because I know he tries to be like, I like him because he tries to be like us. Like, he'll try to say some like personal funny stuff.
Mhm.
I'll
And
take it.
he gets some off. Some of them are good. Like he has to do 20 of them, and 2 of them will be good. That's not bad. As long as those 2 are bangers, that's good.
Like, he did one the time I got arrested. I got that on my camera where he was like, all right, T, turn around. I was like, oh shit, okay, you got me, man. But yeah, he's one.
But
one.
he's
I don't
not,
see.
we don't bring him on for the sports segment. He's not a sports guy. He's just a regular Joe Schmo talking about 401ks and retirements and pensions.
Okay, yo, and you know what? And through this, he might be able to get some clients. Is that what he does?
No. He's in corrections. He works in corrections.
Oh, okay.
He's like a civilian in corrections
In Miami?
in Palm Beach County. He works out there.
Oh, that's north.
Mm-hmm. All right, player.
Next
All
time.
right, have a good one. Yep. No
See you
doubt.
later.
Peace.
Peace.